Hi, I'm ANBU Drake and welcome to the first ever episode of Anti-Tech. In this series, we're going to take a look at the offensive capabilities of various characters throughout multiple fighting games. For this particular episode, we're going to kick things off with GGXrd by taking a look at Kai Kisk and one of his most popular moves, the Sever. As a bit of a PSA, I want to start by saying that I personally play Zato 1, so that's what I'll be using throughout these episodes. And as I'm going through them, I will give as much general information as I can possibly give, but there will be some Zato specific information that I give out as well. However, if you want some more specific information for your character of choice, please leave me a comment below and I will get back to you if I'm able to find anything. Okay, let's kick things off by taking a look at punishing the attack. When you block the Sever from close range, you are actually in the optimal range to punish the attack. At this range, you can usually punish with a slash attack depending on your character's speed of that attack, and then follow up with whatever combo you typically do off of that. At mid-range, you can also punish the attack, but it's much more difficult. You generally will need a pretty fast and long reaching attack. For Zato, his standing punch can actually reach and punish Kai at this range. Ironically, you actually cannot block the Great Saber at long ranges. However, if you were to try to attack during Kai's motion, you would get hit and it would count as a counter hit. But because you don't actually block the attack, Kai is actually very vulnerable afterwards if you have a move that can reach from your current position to where Kai is. Lucky for Zato, he has such a move. Alright, let's take a look at snuffing the attack, and by that I mean completely stopping the attack with your own attack before it ever hits you. With the Sever, this is actually pretty difficult to do. But if you notice it's a move that actually takes Kai off the ground, which means that you can utilize your anti-air here, which is forward and punch with any character. However, you generally have to do this at close range, and you have to do it pretty fast to beat the Sever. But once you do that, you can take advantage to do whatever combo you would like. At mid-range, at least with Zato, it has a special effect where you can actually collide with Kai's sword if you time it correctly. The collision doesn't do anything to Kai, but because you're using your anti-air, the sword doesn't do anything to you. And because you collided, you can actually cancel out of your anti-air into other things, say an overdrive. Kai, on the other hand, can't do anything but finish his greed Sever, so take advantage of that. My recommended way of defeating the Sever is the Bliss Shield. The Bliss Shield technically takes 1 bar of meter to do. However, if you actually land it, you get half a bar back, so you can actually stop your opponent's offensive attacks with half a bar, and you get to hit them with a combo as a bonus. So I tend to prefer to use this attack, especially since the Sever has a pretty decent amount of startup. So all you do is get used to seeing it, and then you just blitz, and Kai will get hit. Now there is the risk of getting blitzed back, and for most characters that's a risk, but for Zato, not so much. Zato can just send Eddie in to start the next combo. If they blitz Eddie, nothing happens, and then you can continue your combo anyways because they're just floating in the air. Okay, let me throw in a little special tidbit for the daredevil among you, or those of you who just like to be flashy. You can actually just throw an overdrive when the Sever is thrown at you, and you will hit Kai. At some ranges, you might trade, but trading with an overdrive is a bonus for you. But at the far distance, interestingly enough, Kai doesn't recover fast enough to block, so you can just throw it. And since most Kais love to use the Sever to poke, Well, I'm sure you can catch somebody with it. One last thing, and this is that Zato specific stuff I mentioned before. Although I think Ram and Soul and maybe even Slayer could do this as well. When you block the Greed Sever, you can actually dash in and do a command grab before Kai could do his fastest normal to hit you. There's one risk, and that's if Kai does his anti-air. The name escapes me, but that move is invulnerable on startup, so it would beat your command grab. But it's a 50-50 chance, so you might want to take it. Okay, let's summarize. 1. You should always Bliss Shield a Greed Sever if you have a meter. It's great. 2. You should always punish it when you block. Don't let them get away with free momentum. 3. You should probably practice doing the anti-air punish, the anti-air snuff, at close range, because that's really good, but it's really hard to do. You might want to practice doing it out at the end of a combo where you're blocking, so a block string. And if you can get that down, you can really damage a Kai's momentum and some of the players' mental health as well. That's it for me. Remember to make your request below. I'll be back with another episode relatively soon. I won't spoil the next one, but it's one of my favorites. See ya.